Good day, everyone, and welcome to this educational snippet entitled Mass Casualty Management Tools and Forms. This session aims to harmonize our understanding on some of the materials that we will be using in a mass casualty incident under the context and in concordance with the MCM module of the Department of Health. This learning snippet is being conducted by the Health Emergency Management Bureau of the Department of Health with guidance and approval of the MCM Core Facilitator Group and a special participation of the Philippine Heart Center. Now, for full disclosure, most of the slides were taken from the following training programs of the Department of Health, namely the Mass Casualty Management Responders Training Course, the Emergency Medical Technician Basic Training Course, and some other training programs, as well as the AAOS Orange Book. And of course, the internet. At the time of the recording of this video, I had to Google a lot for accuracy and congruency. At the end of this learning module, we will be able to familiarize ourselves with the tools and the forms used during a mass casualty incident. We will also be able to properly utilize these forms in accordance with the DOH's MCM program. We learn how the patient and the forms flow in a rescue chain. And lastly, we'll be able to accurately categorize patient triage classification in a simulated exercise. Here are some operational terminologies in this learning module that you can always refer back for better understanding. Now, in as far as this session is concerned, we will be focusing on this specific MCM forms. We have the victim tag, we have the Steve algorithm. We'll also be learning about the sort, the treatment, and the transport tracking form. But before we delve deeper into the forms, I'd like to show everyone this very simple diagram of an entire rescue chain where those forms will be present. Now, which forms will be present where? We will dissect it at the latter part of this session. Onto the diagram from the leftmost impact site to the flow of the search and rescue team, to the first incident facility known to us as the Casualty Collection Point or the CCP, then on to the Advanced Medical Post or AMP, being sandwiched by our Incident Command Post or ICP, and the staging area. Several modes of transport is also present. Then the farthest right is the hospital for a more definitive care. As I have mentioned a while ago, we will be focusing on these forms that you will meet in several of these incident facilities present in this rescue chain, namely the CCP or Casualty Collection Point, the AMP or Advanced Medical Post, and the transport area. But first off is the Casualty Collection Point. Now, inside the CCP, you will meet these two forms, the patient triage tag and the Steve algorithm. Now, if your team is present inside the CCP, you will be responsible in filling out the victim's name and age, if known, but if not, the victim number will suffice. Then the next row is the triage classification of that particular patient inside the CCP. But for us to color classify this particular patient, we will be needing the Steve algorithm. Now, the Steve algorithm begins with the victim being brought at the CCP. Now, the first thing that we need to look at is whether this patient belongs to a special population group or the presence of a catastrophic bleeding or a sucking chest wound. If so, we intervene by applying tourniquet to the catastrophic bleeding patient or an occlusive three-sided dressing for the patients with sucking chest wound. Then we tag both patients under the special population and the patients with catastrophic bleeding as red or critical. Now, all the other patients who are walking and with minor injuries, we tagged as green or non-urgent. If none of which can be observed, we proceed to the next criterion, which is the respiration. Now, the first question that we need to ask is the patient breathing or not? If the patient is not breathing, we intervene by doing an airway management, the head tilt chin lift. And if the patient still does not breathe after the intervention, we automatically tag that patient as black. However, if the patient breathes after the head tilt chin lift, we put that patient into the SFACES recovery position and then mark that patient as critical or red. On the other end of the spectrum, if the patient is indeed breathing, the next question that we will ask is the respiratory rate. If the respiratory rate is equal or over 30 breaths per minute or less than 10 breaths per minute, then we tag that patient as critical. However, if it's under the normal range, meaning 10 to 29 breaths per minute, we proceed to the next criterion, which is the perfusion. And as far as the perfusion is concerned, we will be checking for either the pulse or the capillary refill. If the pulse is weak or absent or the capillary refill is over 2 seconds, we tag that patient as red. However, if it's within the normal limits, meaning the pulse is strong and the capillary refill is under 2 seconds, we proceed to the next criterion, which is the mental status. If the patient can follow a simple command like raising a finger or blinking or nodding, then we tag that patient as yellow. However, if that patient cannot follow a simple command, then we tag that patient as critical. Moving on to our first sample patient. Now, since we don't know for sure if this patient belongs to a special population group, nor this patient has a catastrophic bleeding, or if this patient is walking, we proceed to the next criterion, which is the respiration. Now, is the patient breathing? The answer is yes. And the next question is the respiratory rate, but the respiratory rate is 34, making this algorithm go left, making us tag this patient as red or critical. So for our next patient, I'll be giving you guys a couple of seconds to triage this one out. If you guys answered black, then you'd be correct. After noting the negative vital signs of this patient, we have zero respiration with penetrating abdominal wound and pulse is negative as well as the capillary refill. We can automatically classify this patient as black or dead. On to our next patient, and like before, I'll be giving you a couple of seconds to triage this one out. If you guys answered yellow, then you'd be correct. So let's process. Since we cannot answer the top portion of our Steve algorithm, we proceed directly to our respiration. Now the question is the patient breathing? Yes, with the respiratory rate of 21. So that falls under the normal range. So next is the perfusion. So we check for both the capillary refill and the pulses. So since both pulse and the capillary refill are within normal limits, we check for the patient's mental status. Since as far as the mental status is concerned, the patient is dizzy but able to smile when asked, making us tag this patient as yellow or urgent patient. Okay, on to our last patient for the Steve algorithm. So as per usual, I'll be giving you guys a couple of seconds to answer this. So even without looking at the Steve algorithm, by simply knowing the vitals of your patient and knowing that all of this falls under the normal limits, we can immediately tag this patient as green or non-urgent patient. So the next area with forms that we need to be familiar with is the Advanced Medical Post or the AMP. Now, the most common forms present inside the AMP are the sort triage form and the victim treatment form. Now, the victim treatment form is concise and self-explanatory to the physician who will be filling this form up. The only request is for you to fill up as much detail as you possibly can for ease of endorsement and better continuity of care. Now, the sort triage form is straightforward that also categorizes patient prioritization inside the AMP. Now, GCS or Glasgow Coma Scale, the respiratory rate, and the systolic blood pressure are the main ingredients in accomplishing the sort form.
So moving directly to our first sample patient and how to answer this individual sort triage form. Now, first and foremost, please do not forget to write down the casualty number or the patient's name on this side of the sort form. And in as far as the initial triage is concerned, if this is the first time that this patient will be undergoing the sort triage technique, then leave this area blank. So personally, I'd like to compute for the GCS first. So since our patient opens her eyes to pain, now referring it to our eye opening scale, reacts to pain has a numerical value of 2. Now next, for the verbal response of our patient does not have verbal response. So referring it to our verbal response scale, no response, a numerical value of 1. Lastly, for the motor response, our patient extends to pain and abnormal extension has a numerical value of 2 in our GCS scale. Now, if we sum this all up, we will be getting a total GCS of 5. Having the GCS now will help us compute for the sort scoring. Now, referring to this total GCS score table, total GCS of 5 will fall under the 4 to 5 category that has a numerical value of 1. Next up, next table is the respiratory rate or the RR. Now, our patient has 7 RR, so that falls under 6 to 9, which has a numerical value of 2. Lastly, the systolic BP for our patient has 43, and referring it to our systolic BP table, 43 falls under 1 to 49, that has a numerical value of 1. So if we add this table up, we'll be getting a total sort score of 4. And if we refer it to our sort triage coloring, 0 to 4 falls under the dead or near death. Okay, on to our next patient. And again, I'll be giving you guys a couple of seconds to triage this one out. So if you guys answered red, then you'd be correct. Now let's process. So again, the casualty number on this side of the individual sort form. Now as far as the GCS is concerned, eyes open to pain has a numerical value of 2. No verbal response has a numerical value of 1, and localizes pain has a numerical value of 5. Now we will have a total GCS of 8, and plotting it to our total GCS table, 8 will fall under the 6 to 8 category that has a numerical value of 2. As far as the respiratory rate is concerned, our patient has 35 RR, so it will fall on the 30 or more, which has a numerical value of 3. And lastly, for the systolic BP, our patient has 90 systolic BP, and 90 will have a numerical value of 4. So summing all this table up, we'll have a total sort score of 9. And 9 will fall under the 5 to 10 category, which makes this patient critical. All right, several more patient, and again, I'll be giving you guys a couple of minutes or seconds to triage this one out. So if you guys answered critical or red, then you'd be correct. So let's process. So again, the casualty number on this side of the form and computing for the GCS, spontaneous eye opening has a numerical value of 4. So for the verbal response, disoriented to time, has a value of 4 as well. And for the motor response, localizes pain, has a numerical value of 5. Now we'll be having a total GCS of 12 and plotting it to our GCS score table. So 12 has a numerical value of 3. As for the respiratory rate, 29 will fall under the 10 to 29. It has a numerical value of 4. And lastly, for the systolic BP, 86 will also have a numerical value of 3. So summing this all up, our patient will have a total sort score of 10 that will still fall under the 5 to 10 category, which makes this patient critical. All right, so on to the last patient for the sort triage methods. And again, I'll be giving you guys a couple of seconds to triage this patient using the sort technique. For this last patient, if you guys answered yellow, then you guys would be correct. Now let's process. So again, casualty number on this side of the form and computing for the GCS. Eyes open to voice will have a value of 3. Confused for the verbal response will have a value of 4. And lastly, for the motor responses withdraws to pain will have a value of 4 as well. Now we'll have a total GCS score of 11, and plotting it to our total GCS score table, 11 will have a value of 3. For the respiratory rate, our patient's RR is 26, and 26 will have a numerical value of 4. And lastly, for the systolic BP, our patient's systolic BP is 90, and 90 will have a numerical value of 4 as well. Now, summing this all up, so we'll have a total sort score of 11, making this patient fall under the yellow or the urgent category. And that's that. Congratulations, everyone. You now have an idea on how to triage patient using both the Steve for CCP and sort for the AMP. Now on to the last incident facility with the form that we are to be familiar with, and that is the transport area. If you are a member of the transport team, the form that you need to be familiar with is the transport tracking form, a very simple form that will help you keep track of the patients that you have transported, the transport vehicle that was used, and the receiving facility from which that particular patient was transferred or will be transferred. On the side note, if you are in charge of filling this form up, like any other forms that we are using, please fill up as much details as you possibly can. And as I have mentioned at the beginning of this snippet, the last slide will show us the flow of both the patient and the forms inside the rescue chain. Now, it starts off with the patient being extricated from the impact site and being brought to the casualty collection point. Now, inside the CCP, a Steve algorithm will be stationed and a triage tag will be hooked to the patient and will be triaged using the Steve technique. Now, supposing that this patient will be tagged red, this patient will be transferred immediately to the AMP, and this patient will meet the individual sort triage form and the treatment form. Now, pre-transport, the transport team leader will keep track of this patient using the transport tracking form before transferring this patient into a more definitive care. I'd like to leave you with this phrase that we embrace as our mantra. The first 5 minutes will determine the next 5 hours. This phrase, our mantra, highlights the importance of rapid assessment and initial action in managing an incident. So, training and preparation must take absolute priority. So the content of this snippet is limited only to the reference at the beginning of this session and the intellectual capacity of the team who made this learning session. And note that this is not intended to challenge your existing knowledge on the topics, nor you are here to critic or undermine the contents of this video. With that, thank you very much and good day.